What's up, everybody? Kyle Barboza here, bass player, music educator, not necessarily in that order. And we are talking about ghost notes today. This is going to be a cool lesson, and I think most of you will be able to walk away from this actually instituting ghost notes into your own playing. We're going to do 3 different patterns of ghost notes today, and they're going to kind of increase in difficulty. So the first one, I figure, is something that everybody can take out of this lesson. The second one will probably take a little more time to work into your playing, and then the third one is going to be pretty advanced. And all that being said, there's a lot of different patterns you could do using ghost notes in your bass lines. We're just going to tackle 3 that I think are really, really useful for everybody. Before we get into it real quick, though, if you're having trouble with the material in this lesson, it's probably because of 2 reasons. One, you've got to be pretty comfortable with 16th notes and 16th note syncopation. Nothing crazy, just the basics on that. So if you need help with that, I've got a video on 16th note syncopation. Go ahead and hit that video up. Or you got to be comfortable with short-long articulation for this. Short-long articulation, I can't tell you how important it is. It's pervasive in so many bass lines, and I've got a video from last week on that as well. So if you need to hit either one of those videos, they're both in the description. And as usual, timestamps for this video are in the description. So skip around, but stay a while. Let's get this done. All right, here we go. So the first thing that I want you to take away from this video is that ghost notes always anticipate a fretted note. They always happen right before you play a fretted note. And for those of you who are saying, what exactly is a ghost note? It's simply when you have your left hand on a note and you lift your finger off the fret. So you're not pushing the fret down enough to get a note. You lift it up a little bit and you get that nice ugly dead sound right there. Not to be mistaken with a harmonic, which will happen if you hold your finger over certain frets. But that dead sound is what we're going for with a ghost note. And once again, it always happens before a fretted note, which is why the first thing we're going to practice is playing a ghost note followed by a fretted note in quick succession. Not just in quick succession, but they always happen exactly in rhythm, which is why I mentioned 16th notes before, because we're going to start by playing a ghost note, a 16th note before the fretted note, which is the most common thing you're going to do. I'm going to start on the 5th fret A on the E string. I'm going to use just my first finger over the note. Okay, I'm going to practice just playing a ghost note on it. Okay, go ahead and practice that, get a feel for it. But the real important thing is playing the 2 in succession. So in order to do that, you're going to either pluck with your index finger and quickly with your middle finger, exactly a 16th note later, or the reverse, your middle finger before the index finger. So if I'm able to do that in succession, I play the ghost note and then push the string down to get the fretted note. In quick succession. Okay, so you want to get a feel for that. All right. Now, once you get a feel for it, go ahead, pause the video if you need to. Anytime you need to pause it, get a feel for what we're doing, get a feel for the mechanics, and come back. Now, we're going to hit the drum track now, okay? And we're going to play this ghost note and anticipate the fretted note right on the downbeat. So the fretted note goes right on beat 1, 1 E and a 2 E. And the ghost note goes on the of the beat. So it's going to go a 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2 E and a 3 E and a 4, like that. And also, I'm going to have you stop the string with a tap, like that. Okay, so we're going to do the tap right on the where the snare drum is on the drum beat. Okay, so a 1 tap, 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 tap, just like that. Okay, might get some, again, take your time, get the feel for it, but it's going to sound like a drum beat. Ba-boom, chick, 3E and a 4E and ba-boom, chick, 3E and a 4, 3E and a 4E and 3E and a 4E and 3E and a 4E and. Okay, let's do it with the drums. 2E and a 3E and a 4, a 1, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. See, I'm tapping right on the snare. 3E and a 4E and. Couple more times. If you feel comfortable with it, do it with another note as well. Let's go down to a G here. Back to the A. 2 and a 3 to the G one more time. Okay, now, keep the drum beat going here. Now we're going to take the tap sound away. We're still going to contact the string with the snare drum where we were tapping, right? But we're just going to make sure it doesn't make any noise. So instead of, we're just going to stop the string silently, okay? It's going to sound like this. Ready? Going from A to G here. And a 4, a 1, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and. All right, nice. If you kept up this far, great work. Now let's do the ba-boom, chick, ba-boom. Let's do it twice in a row. So we'll go 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. Okay, we're doubling it here. We'll go from A to G. Ready? And a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 1, 2. You might need to slow this one down. Again, take your time with this. One more time. Here we go. Okay? So, in isolation without the drums, it sounded like this. I'm anticipating the downbeat using my index finger on the ghost note, so I'm going index middle. You can do the reverse of that. It doesn't matter which way, whatever way you're comfortable with, try both, okay? But really, the mechanics of it, getting that one ghost note before the fretted note is huge. And once you feel comfortable with this exercise, go ahead and wear it out. Take a bass line that only has a few chords, a real simple bass line, and add some ghost notes to anticipate the notes in the bass line. Okay, let's say your bass line goes from A to G to D, right? 2, 3, 4, a 1, 2, a 3, 4. Okay? And if you feel really spicy with it, like I just did, anticipate notes that are not on the downbeat. So this is going to sound really funky. Let's say that my bass line is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Check out what happens when I anticipate both of those. Ready? A 1, 2 and. Okay? So in that example, I kind of got a tap, ghost, fret there. Okay, so that's another little thing to work on with the one ghost note. Tap, ghost, fret. But it's got to happen in 16th notes. It's got to happen in a rhythm. Okay, but this is down the line. This is stuff, once you get really, really comfortable with the mechanics, then try this out. You're not going to get this as fast as I just did, okay? This might take days, weeks, whatever, but as long as you're getting the mechanics right and you're comfortable with that, like I said, wear this technique out. Use it on as many bass lines or as many notes or scales. Use it on everything you do for a little while. It's one ghost note, quickly anticipating a fretted note, and it is super, super useful. You can already hear in the simple bass lines I'm playing how much it kind of augments the bass line. All right, let's get to the second one. Real quick, everybody, if you like what you're watching, if this is helpful to you, and you want to work on all things bass in all styles with a private teacher, let me know. My email's in the description. I give private lessons over Zoom. It is awesome. I have a great time with my students, and I'm seeing a lot of progress. So if you want to be one of those people, I want to help you with your goals. Contact me. We'll get it started. Any questions, I'm happy to answer. Okay, for this second pattern, we're going to practice ghost note raking. Okay, so we're going to do, now we've done one ghost note anticipating a fretted note. Now we're going to do two ghost notes and a fretted note. And when I say raking, I'm talking about using, let's take just our middle finger first. We're going to rake across the strings with just one finger. So one finger goes, let's start on the G string, plucks the G string, follows through to the D string, which is what you should always be doing, right? And then plucks the D string, for example. So you're doing two strings in succession with the same right hand finger, right? Go ahead and get a feel for that. Do that in quick succession. But what's going to be the key, again, is the timing. It's the rhythm. These are going to have to happen in 16th notes. So let's say I'm going to rake across the G string, the D string, and then again with the same finger, with my middle finger, I'm going to also play a 3rd fret C on the A string, okay? So it's going to sound like this. Hear how it's in rhythm? 2 and a 1, 2 and a 3, 4 and a 1. Try both fingers now. Try your index finger. Okay, try it on a 3rd fret G. Rake across the D and the A string. Okay, and now here's kind of where it really gets applicable. You're not really going to use this technique like we just did and anticipate the downbeat. It's not really going to be like and a 1, 2, and a 3. That's not how you're going to use this one in bass lines. This one is going to anticipate a syncopated note. So it's a really funky one. And again, this is why you got to be comfortable with 16th note syncopation. The pattern we're going to play on this, we're going to start with a tap. Okay, so we're going to tap on the downbeat. And I'm going to go, my fretted note's going to be, let's go with the 3rd fret G on the E string. So I'm going to rake the D in the A string. Okay, so raking the D in the A string, and with the same finger playing the low G. But I'm going to tap on the downbeat, 1, rake, E, and and I'm going to play the fretted note on the of the beat. 1 E and 1 E and Okay, so let's do it super, super slow. So it's going to be tap, rake, fret, okay? Okay, try that again. Try it a few times. Get comfortable. Again, you got to get comfortable with the mechanics of it. Go as slow as you need to do. As slow as you need to get the mechanics down. But once you get the mechanics down, here's how funky that's going to sound. Check this out. I'm going to play it on the of 1. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1 E and 3, 4. 3, 4. Now I'm going to take the sound of the tap away, and here's the finished product. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1 E and 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, so here is this technique in an actual bass line. I'm going to play like I'm playing on a G minor chord, and I'm going to add this in between the fretted notes. Check it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 E and 1, 2 E and Okay, so it can get super, super funky and raunchy when you start getting these patterns down. And this 2-note rake is really, really cool when you can get the mechanics down. So, yeah, get to the shed on that one. Let's get to the third one, though. Okay, now this kind of advanced technique is one that I use a lot, especially when I'm playing like I would say like funkier jazz tunes, think Jaco Pastorius or Rocco Prestia or any of those guys that kind of have that churning 16th note feel. This one is going to be a tough one to get the feel for, but once you get it down, it's super, super applicable. And it's going to be 2 ghosts on 1 string, then a rake, then a fretted note. Okay, so I'll zoom in on my right hand here. This is what it's going to look like. Here are the ghost notes. Okay, so 2 ghosts, and then a rake. You can do the rake with either of the fingers, whatever you feel is comfortable. I kind of did both there. And I use, I just kind of feel my way through it. So what I use in a certain situation, I don't know. This one's one you really just have to feel your way through. But here's the pattern kind of in quick succession with the fretted note, okay? So which fingers you use for the rake, whether it's the same finger that you left off on or the opposite finger, that's kind of up to you. You got to feel your way through this, but let me show you this one in context with the fretted note. And again, it's going to be used to play rhythms like where the fretted note is on the of the beat. So the ghost notes are going to be 1 E and then the fretted note's going to be the Check it out. There it is twice in a row. Check it out. Ready? Okay, so again, here's the pattern real slow. 2 ghosts, and then a rake, okay? Okay. Okay, now the cool thing about this one too is that kind of like I just did right there, the first note that you start with, the first ghost note, you can press the string down a little bit. As you get a feel for this one, you can actually make the first note almost like a short note instead. Check it out. This one is like, it's one of those that once you get the feel for it and you combine it with like the other 2 that we just talked about, oof, you get some really, really cool 16th note, like churning 16th style bass lines that are really, that have like a really, really subtle pocket to them. This one's awesome, but it's tough. It's tough. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to kind of go in on all 3 of these techniques. See if you can pick out which one I'm using at what time. I'm just going to play a G minor to a C7 chord, okay? Here we go. I'll get the drum track going. See if you can pick out the different ones. Okay, and I know some of you are watching this and going, okay, that's a little bit ridiculous. What I just played is not for this week. It's not for this month. It's probably not for this year for most of you. But get back to that first one, the 1 ghost note, anticipating the fretted note. Get really, really comfortable with that. Start, like I said, I'm going to say it again. Wear it out. Put it in your scales. Put it in your bass lines. Have fun with it. Get a feel for it. Then move on to the rake, right? Get the rake in time. Again, wear it out. Get a feel for it. This takes time to institute, but if you got those prerequisites, if you got the 16th notes down and you feel comfortable with that, if you feel comfortable with short, long articulations, that's the prerequisite. You're ready for this stuff. All right, so take it slow, have fun with it, one ghost note at a time, right? And other than that, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions about this, any further questions, I'm happy to get back when I can. Let's see here. I think that's about it. All right, you guys have a great week. I'll see you on the next one. Take care.